Hey everyone, it's
Hey
Aislyn and
guys,
Aaron here again. Today we're going to be talking about the Brigand.
I'm really excited for this week, Aislyn. It's like, I don't know, the kickoff to Brigand Week has been, I don't know, this has been a good time, and this is a really fun spec. Um,
Class.
we, fo-
Class.
oh, class, right, yeah.
There
No,
are fun specs, but this
there
is
are
the
fun,
class.
fun specs, yes, but I don't know. I'm just stoked to get our final class up on Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah, I'm really stoked too. Brigand came just so naturally to us, I feel. Like we
hmm
had the whole card list and we were just rearing to go with it. It got a lot of changes, it had development for sure, but like the core identity of Brigand was established very early on and it hasn't really deviated from that, and it's just wonderful. It allows you to play such a jerky rogue, and it's just so fun.
Yes, and it is our very first black class. For people who've been following Evian for the last while, they may be surprised to find out there are five colors, not there are six colors, not five. Excuse me. Um, we just haven't made a class for black yet, uh, but now we have.
Yep.
So
And if
yeah,
you know, troll around the Discord or know about the past of the game, which was a black class that was released in our Season 0 box, which is like not legal, pseudo legal. It depends on how you're playing the game. But we do get questions pretty frequently. When are you going to re release which? When are you going to re release those other things? The answer is we're going to do it when we can. They're coming. Don't worry. We haven't forgot about them.
and
But
thank you, Bunny on Fire, for subscribing. And you
yeah.
were wondering, have we been getting card image errors? Those have been persistent and not uncommon for people. But what we've seen so far is that just trying to reload the tabletop simulator app does fix it.
Yeah,
So uh,
generally.
please keep reporting them when they come up. I would love to do like a deep dive and figure out what's going on, but I'm 80% sure it is like hosting on Steam powered that's having an issue, not anything with the mod itself.
Right. Because we don't make any functional changes to the mods and then people just experience this seemingly at random. Like, of course, it's not random, but like, we don't exactly know what's going on. And we don't make changes that cause it to occur. And it also only affects specific people, which is really bizarre. So I'm leaning towards it's a problem with Tabletop Simulator or how Tabletop Simulator is interacting with something. Um, and as we know, Tabletop Simulator is pretty jank, so we'll try to figure it out and fix it if we can.
Yes.
It's very insidious. It's a very strange problem.
But in the meantime, what we'll load is these card images that we have here. And
Yes.
so let's get into taking a look at what our first black class looks like.
Yes, of course.
And I think
Okay.
that means we're starting with a new mechanic. Is that right, Aislinn?
Well, we're starting with poison, which we did
Oh,
see, but
right,
we'll talk. I
right.
think we can talk about it again. But really quick before we dive into the cards, I kind of just want to
Sure.
like very briefly touch on Brigand's aesthetic. So you guys know what fantasy is. By this point, we know that this is a Robin Hood inspired season. Brigand is encapsulating the concept of, you know, kind of the Sheriff of Nottingham vibe, um, mixed with just more generic, like Western European brigandry in general. So you're a skullduggerous bastard, right? You're going around, you're breaking people's kneecaps, you're extorting money from them, you're whaling their caravans. Brigand is it's two-faced, which sounds like a fun way to describe this. One half of Brigand is appealing to that very brutish rogue, one that's strong, one that's gruff, one that's gonna, fight you in a bar, one that's gonna literally beat you up. And the other half of Brigand encompasses the more traditional sneaky rogue archetype, because we knew that we didn't have a more traditional, like, backstabby, stealthy, rogue style character in the game yet, and that's a huge part of like fantasy, character fantasy in games like this. So we wanted Brigands to have some infusion of that, and
And we
that's
do
where like,
that with the poison, right?
yeah, that's like where the
Yeah.
poison comes in. Some of the instants encapsulate that pretty well. So you can kind of go either direction or mix and match it.
Hmm.
Overall, they get in your face. Brigands get in your face. They love a good rumble. They love a good tussle. So that's kind of their vibe.
Hmm.
So yeah, let's talk about poison. Let's talk about poison and brigand.
Yeah, so let's pull up the first card that we're going to be showing off from Brigand. And would you like me to do a little dive into how poison works?
Yeah, sure. So let's
Yeah, so
talk
people
about poison again.
who missed the first stream, go ahead and flip this over and let's take a look at it. So, poison is something that you can do to your opponent, and it's kind of like control. You put that many tokens on. If you poison somebody twice, you put 2 poison on them. Now, the way poison works is at the end of your turn, if you have any poison on you, you take that much damage. Pretty simple, right? Um, and with all tokens in this game, the maximum is 5. Um, they go up to 5, and generally you can't get more than that. Um, the way you get rid of poison, though, is by spending your initiative. Instead of spending your initiative to draw a card or spending your initiative to move, you can spend your initiative to remove half your poison rounded up. Um, and so what it ends up meaning is that poison turns into this damage effect, but the more poison you go into, it starts to drain their card advantage instead.
Yeah.
Um, so what we have here is Poison Strike. One of the small rules we have in Evian is a range 1 attack that's a -1/+1 is often going to be called Strike.
Yeah.
And this is Brigand's Strike. 4 damage and a poison. This card's excellent, Aislyn. I
Oh yeah.
I try to run it in any Brigand deck that I can, because even if I'm not going into poison, like if I play a -1/+1 deal 4 that in the next 3 turns, goes up to doing 7 damage. That's better than the Warrior's Strike. Or if they spend their initiative to get rid of it and they don't take 7,
Yeah.
then it's a -1/+1 deal 4. They lost a card. That's excellent. Poison
Right.
Strike is incredible. You want to be the person carrying the knife in this picture, not the sad uh budget Frodo that it's being stabbed.
Oh God, what's that actor's name? Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Chat might know. Who played Frodo? He's famous. Chat will know. Uh,
I was gonna say, oh, you silly Aislinn, it's
Elijah Wood. Yeah, yeah, you guys
that's
know.
the one.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Also cats in the background.
All
They're
right.
hanging out. Wait, are they? Oh, Clark wants to go under the kitchen counter. He wants to be bad, but he
Oh
knows he's not supposed
no,
to.
no, I'm streaming. I can't. I have a little
He's not
bottle of
doing it.
water
He's just
called.
like looking
Oh
longingly at the
God,
sink.
he sees the bacon grease that I left out. Oh, okay. Well,
Oh, really? Well, he knows.
I'll.
He knows better. Anyways, let's continue. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So, is this the only poison card in Brigand?
Let me think. No, not even
Well, we can just.
close.
Okay, great. Let's see
So,
what else they got.
they also have Poison Bomb. So, Brigand, out of all the classes and the archetypes, well, okay, maybe that's not true, but they make a lot of poison. They make a ton of poison. It's kind of their thing. Poison Bomb is a wonderful tile modifier for whatever kind of deck you're playing, honestly. If you're going really hard into poison, Poison Bomb's really good because it's going to consistently pressure them. And if this is the only poison card in your deck, it's just really annoying because it means that they're probably going to take 1 damage each turn for the rest of the game. Um, so it immediately poisons them when you slam it into the ground. It's also a -1/+2, which is a wonderful cost for a effectively rangeless power generation card. You can play this wherever you want.
Hmm.
And then afterwards, each turn, they're going to get poisoned if they're near it. So it has a good initial effect, gives you power, and then it bothers them for the rest of the game. It's not huge, but it's very nice. It smooths out your deck very well.
Yes, I have found Poison Bomb forces your opponent to move, and it does it in a very cheap cost. Um, Huge fan of this card. Uh,
Yeah, it works
the
super well.
the fact that you get to have your -1/+2, which you might just be running just to have a -1/+2, also impact the board really helps with your control, especially as a melee character. You really need to reduce the tiles that your opponent's happy to be in, and
Hmm.
Poison Bomb is instantly at -1/+1, taking 5 of them out.
Right.
5 to 4, which is incredible.
Absolutely. But let's move on to greener pastures, and by that I mean more toxic, I guess. We have the shakes.
Okay,
So,
so real quick, Aislinn,
yeah.
I want we tried out advertisements today to see what they look like, and I can say I think they're a little annoying. They like squeeze the whole screen.
Did we try out advertisements? Did that
Yeah,
even
you said
happen?
you wanted to like give it a shot, or maybe they don't. Maybe I'm crazy. Well, we'll discuss
I
later
don't
after
I don't
stream.
think we have advertisements of it turned
Hmm.
on right now. Did it happen to you?
Yeah, well, I've got the stream up, and I saw like it all squished down and show
Oh,
meta.
interesting. Okay, I'll have to check that after this then. Guys, let me know
Yeah.
if you're
Un
getting advertisements.
Unfortunately, beloved, yes, there is something wrong with the stream, and you're not hearing the accordion music today. Um, yeah, I'm gonna see if I can fix that for the next stream for you.
Yeah, I guess
It's
we'll
looking a
see.
little overcast today. He doesn't usually play when it's raining, so
Yeah, I'm a little concerned, guys, that we're not going to hear the accordion very much until next spring
yeah,
because
we'll
it's going to
see.
be
He might have gone
cold,
into
but we'll
hibernate.
see. Yeah, it would be very sad if he doesn't play because then we wouldn't stream, right? Ads were running when I joined before you two were here. Okay, got it. Yeah, so our Twitch account finally got to the point where it was allowed to be an affiliate. So I guess that automatically turned on ads. So I'll check that setting after this stream.
Yeah.
Also, a bunny on fire. I saw you subscribed before we even started. Thank you. I actually don't know what that means, but I think that means I should thank you. So thanks.
So what do we got here?
Okay, we've been showing this for a while. We haven't been talking about it. So, Brigand is one of the archetypes that synergizes and benefits from poison the most, and the Shakes is one of the ways that they do that. So, this is an interesting card in that it poisons them twice, and then it attaches to them until they aren't poisoned. So, this card actually technically has an end state, which means it's not affected by silence. Um, and you might think to yourself, oh, well, I'll just get rid of the poison on myself and then the shakes will go away. And that is true. That is true. It will go away. But getting rid of all of the poison on yourself is extremely hard to do, just based off of how, when you spend an initiative, you remove the poison rounded up. So, half the poison rounded up. Anyways, this card slows the crap out of them. If you can get this on someone, they're going to get slowed really bad. If you're close range, like you probably are if you're a brigand, that means it's going to be way harder for them to run away from you. But if you want to be spicy and play this as a longer range character, you can. Like, for instance, you could combine this card with the poison from Yeoman and then put the shakes on them and then keep them away. And that would be really tough for them too.
Yep. It's a pretty solid option. You can do some fun things like maybe a biting cold deck could be interesting with the shakes. But
Hmm.
yeah, no, having a persistent source of slow like that is very strong, especially in multiples. If you get 2 shakes on them, they're never
Oh,
moving
yeah.
again,
They're going
pretty
to be in
much.
big trouble at that point. Also,
Because this
fun.
this also applies to initiatives that you use to move, which is pretty intense.
Yes. Yes, it is. um, and also, once again, going back to season 0, and Witch. There's some
Oh, yeah.
fun stuff that you'll be able to do.
Yeah.
All right, so let's look at our last poison card and transition to our black specific mechanic in the Crossroads here that we have not talked about at all. This is a completely new concept, guys. It hasn't been mentioned anywhere. In Venom, okay, so this is a -1/-1 attack, range 1. You get up in your face, you shank them. It deals 5 damage, sure. Combo. What's combo? Poison them twice. So if this card has combo, you get to additionally poison them twice, which is pretty good. This is like a bigger poison strike if you have combo. But what's combo, Aaron? What the heck does that mean?
Yeah, so one of the things that we really wanted to evoke with Brigand is kind of the rough 'em up. You're constantly hitting them with like a barrage of attacks. Um, and combo is an additional effect you get on some cards if they're played immediately after resolving an attack. So, if the attack right before Envenom that you resolved was an attack,
If the card
um,
you resolved right before.
yeah,
Okay.
I don't actually know what I said. I think I messed that up there. Yeah, you play an attack. The next card you get, if it has combo, that combo is going to trigger. And some cards, like Envenom, are also attacks themselves, which allow you to make larger combos.
hmm
Other ones aren't attacks, and they'll end your combo, and you'll have to start up again with a another attack.
Right. Yep. So if you played Poison Bomb and then you played Envenom, you would not get the combo effect of Envenom. But if you played Poison Strike, which is an attack, and then you immediately played Envenom, you would get the combo bonus of Envenom. And like
And you
Aaron said, a
do
lot
nine
of,
damage and poison them 3 times, which isn't too
which is
shabby.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, like Aaron mentioned, there are some cards with combo that aren't attacks, which will end your combo, but they get some spicy bonuses. So let's take a look at some of those. So first of all, we have a -1/+1, so not a huge cost, but boy does this card do work if it has combo. So it slows 2 target opponent. We see -1/+1 cards in classes that apply control. This is one of them. But Brigand's specific thing with their -1/+1 card that applies control is that if you have combo, if the last card you resolved immediately before kneecap was an attack, they also discard 2 cards for
So
-1/+1.
I have a question, Aislyn.
Yeah.
As an art director, when we make cards that involve people getting their knees attacked, is it like your goal to make them the most grisly cards in in the game? Because we also have split bone. I don't know. These cards just make me feel so bad for the subject of them.
Yeah, that knight looks very surprised that that brigand just broke his knee, for sure.
So the trade-off with kneecap is, um, as a lot of you may know, uh, having your opening card be a slow effect is incredible. It basically prevents them from doing most interaction with you that turn. With kneecap, you can take that, but the trade-off is you're not getting an additional discard too. So oftentimes the right move for a kneecap is to place this after opening with an attack, which is kind of neat because there is definitely situations where you play it both ways. I mean, I know I have.
Yeah, for sure. No, there's benefit, there's pros and cons to both. Alden says
Yes,
old cripple art was brutal
that's
too, also attacking the leg.
that's what
True.
I agree. God, the old cripple art, for people who haven't seen it, it got cut because like the giant who was being stabbed in the leg pretty brutally, because that's the thing we're talking about. He was wearing like a leopard print outfit, and it just looked very goofy.
It,
So
it was like caveman vibes, which is not what we were going for. So we
yeah,
changed the art.
the giants aren't like cavemen in the skulls, so we swapped it up and have badass new cripple art.
hmm
Um, but yeah, kneecap, fantastic card. One of the
Absolutely.
reasons to go into Brigand if you're range one.
Oh, for sure. But then there's an even bigger payoff ability card for a combo that will utterly massacre your opponent's ability to play their next turn if you can get it off. It is Rib Crack. Aaron, you want to
Yeah,
talk about Rib Crack?
absolutely. Well, first let's soak it in. So it's a -1, -2. So we need a big effect from this.
hmm
Um, Stun target opponent. Okay, that's not great. Just at face value. Combo, silence 2 and disarm 3 them. So I don't know how much, I don't know how much everyone's got experience with Evian, but the more control that's on you, the harder it is to play cards, and it the more I'm trying to think. Stacking control is often more powerful is like exponentially more powerful than single instances. So something that's putting 5 control on you at once, is that the most that is put on from a single card
Can
so
you guys
far,
still hear
Aislyn?
Aaron?
Am I quiet?
No, no.
Oh,
Your stream, it's just your camera's
my
frozen.
stream is frozen.
Okay. They can still hear you.
Oh,
Your camera's just frozen for some reason. Okay.
huh.
Well, we'll
Weird.
we'll have to accept the talking head, Aaron, for now. Oh, you're
So
back. Okay.
I do have a question though, Aislinn. Is Rib Crack the most control that you can do in a single card?
Um, in terms of like general effectiveness, very possibly.
Yeah.
Is it the most control you can do in a single card? I'm not
Is
sure
that
if
I
that's true.
think
It might be. But the thing is that it's 2 silence and 3 disarm, which is just so
uh
universally crippling to their ability to like play anything until they deal with that.
yeah. And it's at a pretty cheap cost. Rib Crack is very accessible from a cost.
For
Um
sure. The big downside of rib crack is that, of course, if you don't have combo, it does effectively nothing.
right, you
Um,
never want to play this without. And people in the chat are saying Scorn, if you have more than 5 power, does do more. And yes, you're right. If you have 7 power and you play Scorn, it's going to do 6 control, but that's one action in 7 power to get one more control
yeah,
than Rib Crack is doing at one action in 2 power. Rib Crack is devastating, especially because it's probably if you're playing Brigand, it's probably not the only control you're doing that turn.
for sure. So that and this is like such a great example of like Brigand's whole shtick. In terms of the like brutish side of Brigand, they are stunning you, they are controlling you, they are making your turns difficult. And if you can't get away from them and you can't stop their cards from going off, they are going to break your bones. They're going to smash you upside the head and they're going to stab you in the gut and take your money.
Absolutely.
All right, so I have forgotten what this one is. Do you remember what this one is, Aaron?
Uh, yeah, I do, but flip it.
Okay. Oh my gosh, yes, it's Bruise. So this is a wonderful, wonderful combo payoff attack. This is the Brigand's Big Haymaker.
Yeah.
Um, Go
Um,
ahead.
yeah, no, I wanted to say, if this is ringing Dismember bells, it should. It's the same cost as Dismember. And so Dismember does 6, or if somebody's used their second wind, it does 12. This always does 9, which is very good for one action.
Mhm.
Um, go ahead and talk about the card.
Sure. Yeah, so -1, -3, deal 9, which is like fine in and of itself. It's pretty strong. But then the combo makes it very good. So it attaches to them. They have to keep it for the rest of the game until it's destroyed. Um, at the end of your turn, you slow one and disarm one them. So if they can't deal with that, that is going to just be such intense extra pressure on them. And something that's oftentimes super important for big power cost attacks in this game is that they also give you some kind of control or disruption advantage over your opponent, not just deal damage. Because if you can't kill them with this attack, you just spent a ton of resources to gain very little that turn. However,
Yeah.
Bruise does give you a benefit that turn. So this card is very effective, it's very powerful, and it feels great to play.
Yeah, it's like, what if we made a range? What if we made like, what if Dismember and Withering Curse kind of had a baby? Like that's the card. It's incredible. It's 2 control on them forever, and you also dealt 9 damage, and you only spent one action to do it. That's phenomenal. I think Bruise is terrifying, and whenever I'm fighting against a Brigand, I always have in the back of my head like, am I safe from a Bruise play where they just play Bruise Kneecap and I have 3 slow and a disarm on me and I'm
Yeah.
nine damage fewer and 2 cards shorter.
And I mean, I think the thing is like you're not happy if you see either of Brigand's Haymaker finishers. Like if you see a rib crack or a bruise, you're not in a happy place.
Right.
Okay. Next
Is
up,
this the, is this the last one?
I don't remember.
Okay.
We have a lot
Let's
of
take a
cards
look.
to show off for Brigand because we like them.
Oh, yeah, so that is, let's talk about kind of the next thing. Instance. So every class in every archetype in Evian has access to instance, and brigands are tricky thugs. Um, they are they are a little slippery, and they have some very, very strong instant interaction.
Yes.
Um, one of which is scramble, which they may be they may be prone to skullduggery, but they're also a bit of an oaf. So scramble, they can get out of the way, and in Avian, an instant speed travel effect is a very, very strong. Um,
Instant
it's a
speed
very
travel is extremely good in Evian.
yes, because that means it can interact with most all cards and prevent them. However, there is a cost to doing that at a class. Um, for a single action in a class, there's got to be a little bit of a downside for that effect, and in this case, you trip and you slow yourself.
Yep. They're a bit of they're a bit of an oaf, like you said. You
Hmm.
might even say they're cowards.
Yes. And
Topically, we are very close to our $56,000 stretch goal of the coward card for the trait pack.
and I would like you all to, uh, you know, let people know about Ivian so that we can get there, because Coward is one of my personal favorite traits that we have coming up. So I want that. Um, so get it for me. I don't know. It's Brigand Week. We're all about vagabond selfishness here. Um, I don't know where I'm going with this. Let's go back to the card. Scramble. It's a great
Yeah,
card.
it's good. Play it.
Play it.
All right. However, honestly, I don't know which instant card of theirs is better. Like, they're both so good. This is
Well,
Pocket Sand.
if you
Um,
ask Dale Dresler from King of
King
the
of the
Hill,
Hill, yeah.
he would say Pocket Sand is the superior one.
I think he would say Pocket Sand is the superior card.
Look at that wizard just getting blasted with sand.
I mean, he even looks like just really annoyed. He's like, "What the hell? Oh my god."
So I guess this is harkening back to Sling Rock, which also does a silence one or a disarm, but because it's a survivalist card and it gets to be more powerful than other cards, it also does 2 damage. Pocket Sand doesn't. It's just -1/+1 instant, silence one or disarm one, but I guess canonically, throwing rocks at people is a silence one or disarm effect. I'm not
Well,
sure.
see,
We've done
brigands
2 so
haven't
far.
figured out how to keep all of the dirt and gravel together
Oh yeah,
before
that's
it
why it's
hits
not
them.
doing the damage.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
So, silence one or disarm one means virtually every single card that is interacting with you is affected by Pocket Sand. Um, there are very few cards that just travel that are just affected by slow that affect you. Pocket Sand is the ultimate defensive option. It's not going to make them go down on resources, but it's going to stop whatever card they need from resolving, except if they're heroic. Um, Pocket Sand is probably, I think it's the strongest instant in Crossroad classes.
Maybe.
I
It's
think that
really
it's
good.
got some competition from Dodge and Hot Tar, but I think Pocket Sand I would vote for as the strongest instant
I would
in
vote
the
for Pocket
among
Sand for City Council.
among the class for City Council. Look at that! Look at that stand. I actually love the art for this. She's just so happy.
She's so
Um,
happy about it.
but yeah, this is an incredible card, and expect to see this and play around this when you're fighting a brigand. They're always gonna have some dirty trick up their sleeve or in their pocket, as it were.
Absolutely. Also, hi Gustavo. Good to see you. Gustavo
Hey,
joined the
Gustavo.
chat and is one of our wonderful artists on Crossroads. I want to interrupt the stream to make this a cat stream really quick if I can. Let's see if I can pick these two up without them freaking out. One
Oh,
second.
are they both in it?
They are.
Oh man,
I want them to say hello to the stream.
I don't think you're gonna get Clark. There's no way.
Hey
Oh
kitties.
my god. Oh my god, you got both of them.
Say hello to chat, kitties. Clark's like, what are you doing?
So of the two of them, the white one, Lewis, he's the much more okay with the being picked up and moved around. Clark is a skittish one, but it looks like he was pinned down by his brother
Yeah,
there.
he couldn't move because Lewis was sitting on top of him. So those are our kitties, Lewis and Clark. They're 4.5 months old. They're getting bigger, but they still think they're un petit. And
No,
so they like to sit together in spaces that are far too small for them at this point.
they
But
they
they're
do
cute.
not fit in that anymore together. But man, do they make it. They try and they make it work, but usually one gets jettisoned like
Yes.
after about 10 minutes.
Okay, so I think we have one more card to show
Yeah,
off.
I want to like show off all of them. I mean, we're not gonna. There's gonna be
Okay,
more
you
to
know
take a
what?
look at on the website,
I
but
literally want to show them all because they're just so good. But there's one extra card I want to show because it's just so
oh
funny.
no,
You
is
know what it is.
it
It's Toothy Grin.
hell
So this
yeah.
card doesn't have combo technically, but it basically does with what its
Okay,
effect says.
so let's take in that devilishly handsome smile.
Aaron, are you ready to Toothy Grin for chat?
I'm doing it right now.
We always Toothy Grin whenever we play Toothy Grin.
Okay, can I be? I'm done now. Oh God. So Toothy Grin is the only luck generator that Brigand has in its class.
No, it's not. We're gonna see the other one.
Oh yeah. Right,
Yep.
right. There are two luck generators in Brigand. Luck is the season mechanic, so everyone here is a little bit lucky. Brigand's maybe a little less so than others, but look at that dental work. That man's living a charmed life. Toothy Grin is excellent. 0+1. After you play an attack, you just get to Toothy Grin, draw a card from that initiative. You got a luck for doing it. It's fantastic passive power and luck generation. It actually does come up as a little bit of a cost because this is not an attack, but it's taking up your combo.
Yep.
Um,
It
which
is ending your combo, but it is a very cheap and nice way to do it if you don't have a bigger effect you want or could do.
right,
Plus, it's just so fun to play this card. I
yeah. So a
please
bunny on
just
fire says that was uncanny. It's like the same picture. I was actually the model for that, and we just had Wojek just kind of paint over me.
please, I challenge you, I implore you, if you play Toothy Grin, you gotta do it.
Yeah, I mean
You gotta
that's
do
like
it.
that's a moral and spiritual obligation right there. Um, yeah,
Okay,
Toothy Grin is fantastic. We love it. And it really makes
absolutely.
you feel like a brigand.
Oh, it really
But we got
does.
one last card we're showing off of the what? This is the 11th card, so we are
Yes.
showing a majority of the brigand cards.
There are
Yeah,
still
we're
nine
very
more Brigand
excited.
cards we're not showing, and they're all wonderful. So check them out
We're
on the Tabletop Simulator or the website after this stream.
very excited about this class.
Yes. Okay. This card is a bit of a doozy. Aaron, this was your idea, I think.
Yes. Oh man. Okay.
Yeah.
I I hope you don't want much of a history for this card because I don't remember because I came up with this card in 2018. Like, what
Whew!
if we made a? Let's flip it over.
Yes. Okay, we don't have art yet. Please forgive us. We still
Yeah,
don't have
let's say
art
these
5 years later. I know. Disappointing. It'll be here soon.
I wanted brigands to feel like they gotta take risks. I mean, they're out there, waylaying caravans instead of working honestly. We want them to get a big advantage by working, by taking some risks. In this case, you get +1/+1. It's at range one.
Yeah,
You
take
can
a
get,
second look at the action power gains
yeah.
slash costs.
This isn't costing an action and power. It's giving you an action and a power, but you are you are allowing them to play a card for free and heroic right then and there.
Yep.
So this card is horrifyingly skill testing, and I think it's good. and I don't think it's overpowered, but maybe it is. I don't know. I think that you need a bigger brain than I have to truly, truly break this card.
I
But
would love to see someone win the Gen Con championship with Gambit.
with triple gambit,
That would be
because
sick.
wow, this card is phenomenal. You can hold up like the idea is you can hold up a pocket sand for this, right? And then
Hmm.
pocket sand, or no, you can't
No,
because
no,
it's
yeah, yeah.
heroic. It's got to be a
No,
hard counter,
you'd want to hold up like Pay the Toll, which is a
right?
brigand card that
Which
you will see
is a
soon.
brigand card that you'll see someday.
Yes.
Today. Um, yeah, no, Gambit's absolute wild card.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Sven says Norse gambited into a volley once. It was beautiful. Yeah, so when this card when it rains, it pours with this card, and I mean that in both directions. If it goes well for you, it goes extremely well for you, and if it goes badly for you, it usually goes really badly for you when you play Gambit. Beloved
Absolutely.
asks, Gen Con tournament in 2024?
Yep,
Yes.
that's the
Gen
plan.
Con 2024 will be in probably August. I would assume. I haven't
Yeah,
checked the exact date of Gen Con
I believe it
2024.
is in August. I don't know if they've announced the dates yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be awesome. And if you can get to Gen Con, you should definitely do it. It's going to be the biggest Evian tournament in person ever.
Yeah. I'll see if we can get some streaming set up for that, if possible. Maybe
Oh
we can
yeah,
make that
maybe.
happen.
I have no idea about that. And Gen Con logistics are no easy task.
For sure.
But yeah,
All
Gambit,
right.
fantastic card.
For sure. Okay,
Eh,
guys. Let's take a look at some new black traits um, coming with Brigand. So remember that traits can be picked by any character that satisfies the color requirement. So these are not limited to Brigand only. They are, if you're a huntsman, you can play these. If you take Brigand, you can play these. And if you take any of the new black specializations, you can take these. So first up, we have a pretty simple but quite powerful one, Upper Hand. So this is a passive trait. Brigands love attacking people, so we wanted to give them a pretty cool and fun, flavorful payoff for that. After you successfully attack an opponent, if they have less health than you after you attacked them. So let's say they had more health than you before you attacked them, but then once you finish your attack, if they have less, you trigger Upper Hand and gain an initiative. Um, so that means that generally speaking, as long as you are winning the health battle, you are going to be gaining an initiative hopefully every turn, which is going to be a very, very, very nice benefit for you to draw cards or keep getting closer to them, what have you. Um,
and it does definitely it helps with there's an idea in Brigand that we want them to try to steamroll their opponent and capitalize on being ahead, but have a hard time digging themselves out if they start falling behind.
mhm.
And Upper Hand perfectly goes into that game plan. You play Upper Hand with the assumption that you are going to be winning the game. And anytime somebody messes with that plan, you start losing out on your traits.
Yes, for sure. Next up, we have a card that is very interesting. It's a build around in a way. This card changes the way that you are going to think about poison pretty significantly. This card is Black Death. So after an opponent takes damage from poison, they still take the damage from the poison. They put that many cards from their deck into their discard. So if you don't like Mill, I'm sorry. But if someone likes Mill, they can play Black Death. And Mill is very interesting in Evian because, unlike a game like Magic or a lot of other card games, when you mill cards in Evian, you are losing oftentimes permanent damage capability in your deck, which is still kind of true in a game like Magic, but not quite as strictly true. So, like, if you mill big attacks, you're just straight up less capable of dealing that much damage to your opponent. So if your opponent can mill you enough, they can get you down to the point where you might not even have enough damage left in your deck to draw to even kill them.
Right.
Granted,
And
that's fairly challenging.
another interesting thing about Mill and Evian is, unlike in games like Magic where you have 20 life and 60 cards in your deck, at the start of the game you've got 40 life usually and 40 cards in your deck. Um, and so if you just go into Mill, if you get most of your damage from this poison, you're not even behind. You don't even have a larger pool to go through. You are doing the exact same thing just to their deck, but they're also drawing 2 cards from it each turn. Um, so it's definitely Back Death can absolutely turn on a mill strategy.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
And the final black trait that we want to show off today is pretty fun. So something that we haven't seen at all so far in Brigand is healing, which is something that we want black to have as part of their color identity.
Mhm.
You'll be seeing a lot more of it, in like Witch and probably other black classes that get released later. But we did want to give black in Crossroads a little bit of that vibe, and we found a pretty fun way to do it. We have Moonshine. So what's going on with this card, Aaron?
Well, for starters, somebody is enjoying drink to a degree that I wish I could, but um, it is it's a -1/+1 heal 4, which is
in
crazy
the feet zone.
in the feet zone, which is a crazy advantage.
Yeah.
However, it does come at a cost. You're poisoning yourself quite literally every time you drink, so you're gonna need to figure out a way to either mitigate that damage, either maybe through Peasant or Friar. Actually, I guess you can't play this with Friar. Um, or you're gonna have to spend initiatives to keep that poison in check. So you'll be drawing a couple less cards throughout the game.
Yep.
I love this card.
It's pretty
And
good.
something I've noticed with Moonshine is once you start playing Moonshine, you kind of have to you have to keep drinking Moonshine to kind of counteract the poison you're getting from the Moonshine.
Yeah, because you want to get
Um,
up to 3 so that you can effectively remove 2 poison from yourself.
right. And I have definitely fallen into the Moonshine hole a bit, where I'm drinking Moonshine to stop the Moonshine damage from coming in.
Yeah, yeah. So oh
Yeah,
god.
we're trying not to make too relatable effects, but yeah,
So
Calgary
if you
is
ever find
this is our
yourself
very special trait, you know.
yes. Oh god, yes. I got that. That was a deep cut, Aaron.
Was it?
It's kind of hard to understand. Like a very special
Okay.
episode.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
See. Anyway,
Um, if you ever find yourself playing Moonshine at game night, consider grabbing a drink. Maybe make it a drinking game.
don't. Well, it
Officially
depends on the
endorsed by
vibe.
Evian. Drink
Ace,
responsibly.
read the room on whether or not you turn the game of Vivian you're playing into a drinking game. Um, and we'll let you decide that, despite what Aislyn says. Do
Yes.
we have
If you're
any
under
other traits we
21 in
wanted
the
to show
US,
off,
don't do that.
or is this is the last trait we're showing off today?
It is, but like I said
All right.
before, we are going to be putting them all on Tabletop Simulator and the website today. So you're going to be able to review everything that Brigand and the Black Traits have to offer. And then tomorrow, we are going to be putting out the Ruffian story. And
Mm-hmm.
then the day after that, we're going to be revealing Ruffian, the mono black specialization in the Crossroads. They have so many awesome cards that complement Brigand and vice versa.
Yeah,
And
I
of
think
course, other archetypes too.
Ruffian is probably your favorite specialization of the bunch, Aislinn.
I really like Ruffian.
Yeah,
Ruffian is,
it's
I love playing it. I love playing against it too, just because I love Ruffian. When someone's punching me to death, I'm just like, oh, this specialization is so fun. It's so cool. I love this.
uh, I think of all of the rulings that we've made, I think that is probably the least enforceable at Gen Con that that you have to be drinking when you play Moonshine.
showing up to an Evian tournament with a mason jar of clear liquid because the
Aislyn,
creators told me to.
look what you've done. What? Oh my
Oh
God, look at.
God.
See,
Yeah.
this is how card games become toxic, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
Creators telling their players to drink when they play the game. Um, but yeah, that's I think it for the Brigand Reveal.
Yep.
Um, it's a fantastic class. I am super excited to get it on there and play some games with y'all. Maybe
Yes.
this Friday night. As a reminder,
Yeah.
folks, we've been doing Friday night Ivians, just in the Discord community at 5:30 Pacific. Just come in if you want to jam some games. No real pressure to, you know, just play what
Yeah.
you'd like, play as long as you'd like. It's just a good time to hang out and jam
People
some
can
games.
teach, people will play. It doesn't matter if you show up late, you'll still get some games in. It's just a very chill, fun time for everyone. I would highly recommend joining us. We're also going to have a game day on Sunday again, so we'll be hosting and people will be playing. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to crack some skulls, if you want to break some knees, Brigand might be for you. Brigand might be for you.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much it. Other than that, just keep keep telling people about Ivian. All super important. Getting this Kickstarter. We're doing great, and I want to get as many traits as we can into the trait pack, and as many upgrades and little things. And we have a very cool stretch goal that we'll be revealing in a little bit here. That I think you guys will really want to get to. So yeah,
Ooh, that's interesting. You get me
absolutely.
excited, and I don't even remember what you're talking, like which one you're talking about. Okay. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you later. Thank you very much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.
Yeah. See you, folks.
Bye.